Epictetus once said, "Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily." Work can sometimes make us feel really overwhelmed. We deal with loads of information, make many choices, and face different demands, leaving little time to think clearly. If you've ever felt like this, taking a short break can help. Just a few minutes to clear your mind from all the distractions and focus on what truly matters. In today's video, we'll introduce its main concepts, show you how to use it, and discuss the benefits it offers. Number 7. Peace of mind. It is wisely said by Epictetus, "Keep constant guard over your perceptions, for it is no small thing you are protecting, but your respect, trustworthiness and steadiness, peace of mind, freedom from pain and fear, in a word, your freedom." Why would you sell these things? Have you ever found yourself in a tough job, a troublesome relationship, or the constant scrutiny of the public eye? Well, Stoicism has a handy trick up its sleeve to help us deal with these challenging situations. It's all about managing and understanding our emotional reactions, making it a bit easier to endure the struggles that life throws our way. It can also help us handle and lessen those triggers that seem to never stop bothering us. But here's the real question. Why do you keep putting yourself through this? Is this truly the environment where you thrive? Getting upset over rude emails and a never-ending stream of workplace problems can wear you down. Think about it. Our bodies can only handle so much stress before they give in. Maybe it's time to save your energy for life or death situations. So, yes, use Stoicism to navigate these challenges. But don't forget to ask yourself if this is the life you genuinely desire. Every time you let anger or frustration get the best of you, you're giving away a piece of your life. Are these the situations you want to spend your precious time in? Don't be afraid to make a significant change, a change for the better. Life is too short to be constantly stressed and drained by situations that don't truly align with your goals and values. Embrace Stoicism as your guide, but also embrace the courage to transform your life for the better. Number 6. Avoid unnecessary complexity. As Marcus Aurelius stated, if someone asks you how to write your name, would you bark out each letter? And if they get angry, would you then return the anger? Wouldn't you rather gently spell out each letter for them? So then remember in life that your duties are the sum of individual acts. Pay attention to each of these as you do your duty. Just methodically complete your task. Imagine you're at work dealing with a co-worker or boss who really gets on your nerves. They ask you to do something, but because you don't like them much, your first instinct is to say no. You find all sorts of reasons to object. Maybe their request seems unreasonable, or they're just being rude. So you firmly tell them, "Nope, I won't do it." And guess what? They respond by refusing to do something you asked them to do earlier. Now, we've got a full-blown conflict on our hands. But if you take a step back and look at it from a neutral standpoint, you might realize that not everything they're asking for is so bad. Some of it might actually be quite simple, or not a big deal at all. If you just did it, it could make your overall workload a bit easier to handle. Before you know it, you've tackled the whole task. Life and work are already tough enough. Why make it even harder by letting your emotions take over for small issues, or by picking unnecessary fights? We shouldn't allow our feelings to obstruct kathekon, which is just a fancy word for doing the right and sensible things on the path to being a better person. So, the next time you find yourself at odds with a co-worker or boss, take a deep breath, try to see the bigger picture, and consider whether their request is really as bad as it seems at first. Sometimes doing those small, reasonable tasks can lead to a smoother, more peaceful work environment, and that's a win for everyone involved. Number 5. Mindset in order. You know how sometimes we really don't like it when someone tries to tell us what to do? Like, they tell us how to dress, how to think, or even how to do our job. It's like they're trying to boss us around, and we don't like it one bit. We often say we're independent and self-sufficient people, but here's the twist. Sometimes we're not as in control as we think. When someone says something we don't agree with, we can't help but argue back. If there's a plate of cookies in front of us, well, they won't last long. And if someone does something we don't like, we can't help but get mad. When something bad happens, we dive into the sea of sadness, depression, or worry. But here's the kicker. When something good comes our way a few moments later, our mood does a complete 180, and suddenly we're on cloud nine, craving more of that goodness. Now, let's pause for a moment and think about this. We wouldn't let another person push us around like this, right? And why do we let our own impulses call the shots? It's time to see it differently. We're not puppets that can be made to dance this way or that way, just because our emotions decide to throw a party. We should be the ones in control because, hey, we're independent and self-sufficient individuals. In this regard, Marcus Aurelius stated in his book Meditation, "Frame your thoughts like this. You are an old person. You won't let yourself be enslaved by this any longer, no longer pulled like a puppet by every impulse, and you'll stop complaining about your present fortune or dreading the future." So it's all about taking the reins back from our emotions. We shouldn't let them run the show. We should be the captains of our ship, steering it in the direction we want to go. After all, we're strong, self-reliant people, and it's high time we started acting like it. As the captain of your ship, please make sure that you set sail to our next video. Subscribe to our channel and find the guidance for your Stoic destination. Number 4. Job freedom. Occasionally, we see a rather sad situation unfold in the news. It's like a drama playing out. An old millionaire, someone who's still the big boss of his business empire, ends up in a courtroom. Shareholders and family members head to court to argue that he's no longer mentally sharp enough to make decisions. They believe that this patriarch, who's been calling the shots for years, is not fit to run his own company and handle his legal matters anymore. And it's all because this powerful person never wanted to give up control or make a plan for the future. As a result, his most personal weaknesses are laid bare for the whole world to see. It's one of the worst things that can happen to a person, having their private vulnerabilities exposed in public. But let's take a step back and think about this. We shouldn't get so caught up in our work that we believe we're invincible when it comes to getting older and facing the ups and downs of life. Nobody wants to be that person who just can't let go. Is work really the only thing that gives meaning to your life? Do you want to keep at it until the day you're carried away in a coffin? It's important to take pride in what you do for a living. But remember, it's not the only thing in life. Your work is just one part of who you are and what you can achieve. Don't forget to enjoy the other aspects of life, like spending time with family and friends, pursuing hobbies, and taking care of your physical and mental well-being. After all, life is about balance, and finding that balance will help you avoid the pitfalls that some wealthy old millionaires find themselves in when they can't let go of the reins. Number 3. Break routine, seek variety. It is stated by Musonius Rufus, so in the majority of other things, we address circumstances not in accordance with the right assumptions, but mostly by following wretched habits. Since all that I've said is the case, the person in training must seek to rise above, so as to stop seeking out pleasure and steering away from pain, to stop clinging to living and abhorring death, and in the case of property and money, to stop valuing receiving over giving. Imagine you're at work and your boss comes up to you and asks, "Why did you do it this way?" Your response is, "Because that's how we've always done things." Well, that's a surefire way to frustrate a good boss and make entrepreneurs salivate with the possibility of doing things differently. It basically means you're just going through the motions without really thinking. When you operate on autopilot like this, it's a sign that you've stopped thinking critically about your actions. It's a dangerous place to be in, especially in the world of business. If you keep doing things the same old way, you become an easy target for competitors who are willing to shake things up. And if your boss is someone who values innovation and creativity, you might find yourself out of a job. Now, we should apply the same kind of ruthless scrutiny to our own habits. That's one of the reasons we study philosophy. To break free from the shackles of routine and thoughtless behavior, take a moment to reflect on your daily routines and habits. Are there things you do just because it's what you've always done? Ask yourself, is this really the best way to do it? Do I even know why I'm doing it this way? The key is to have a purpose behind your actions. Don't just do something because it's a habit or tradition. Understand why you're doing it and whether it's the most effective and efficient way. By doing so, you'll not only improve your own decision-making, but also contribute to a more innovative and forward-thinking environment, whether at work or in your personal life. So break free from the "we've always done it this way" mindset and start doing things for the right reasons, reasons you can defend and be proud of. Number 2, keep things easy. Every day it's easy to get caught up in a whirlwind of thoughts. What should I wear today? Do people like me? Am I eating healthily enough? Where is life taking me next? Is my boss satisfied with my work? But let's take a moment today to shift our focus. Let's take a page from New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick's playbook and embrace his simple mantra: do your job. Just like the Romans, like disciplined soldiers, like masters of our craft, we can commit ourselves to this principle. No need to let 1,000 distractions or other people's affairs consume us. As the ancient philosopher Marcus Aurelius suggests, let's approach each task as if it were our last, for in reality it could be. Even if it's not our last task, messing up what's right in front of us doesn't do us any good. There's a profound clarity in the simplicity of just doing what's at hand. So, today, let's keep a steady focus on the task at hand, embracing our inner Roman and human essence. Let's execute our duties with unwavering dignity, love, freedom, and fairness. This means giving ourselves a break from all the other noise and worries. By mastering this art of concentration, we can lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. For when we remain vigilant over these essential matters, there won't be a demand for more from the powers that be. Number 1, unattainable without approval. Marcus Aurelius stated that in meditation, "Today I escaped from the crush of circumstances," or better put, I threw them out, for the crush wasn't from outside me, but in my own assumptions. Sometimes on tough days, we tend to say things like, "My work is just too much to handle," or "My boss is really getting on my nerves." But what if I told you that these feelings of overwhelm or frustration aren't caused by your work or your boss? It might sound strange, but it's true. There's this concept the Stoics talk about called hypolepsis, which basically means how we take in and process things, our perceptions, thoughts, and judgments. The key idea here is that what we assume and what we let our minds dwell on, that's something we control. So when we feel overwhelmed by work or irritated by our boss, it's not because they have some magical power to make us feel that way. It's because of how we're processing those situations in our minds. In other words, the cause of those emotions is actually within us. Think of it like this: your work and your boss are like targets, and your mind is the one taking aim. If you feel stressed or frustrated, it's because of how your mind is interpreting and reacting to those external factors. So instead of blaming others, recognize that you have the power to change how you perceive and respond to these situations. It's all in your hands. In a nutshell, these Stoic principles offer valuable insights into achieving a more balanced and fulfilling work life. They remind us to guard our perceptions and prioritize peace of mind, and they empower us to take control of our reactions and interpretations of external events, ultimately putting the power to attain peace and contentment squarely in our hands. Embracing these principles can lead to a more harmonious and meaningful existence. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content to help you achieve a better lifestyle.